the 14A Sports Radio Show. This is the 14A Sports Radio Show on this 15th of January, 2014. And as always, the 14A Sports Radio Show is brought to you by Big Apple Sports Pals. With the wall-to-wall TVs, you'll never miss a beat of the action. Give them up a call tonight. Get some of the town's greatest food delivered to your door. 201-858-1075. What's going on, gentlemen?
Not much, man. How was the? How do you think the little birthday party went down to Vic?
Little birthday party went very well. Also, it's officially been a year on 14asports.com. So let's give ourselves a round of hand right there, everyone. Oh yeah. Got the Dee-X radio show in the building. Left over from their show going on before. They had quite the scene going on over here.
There was a party up in here.
I went to go put the cake in the refrigerator over there, and you had all these guys rehearsing their lines. I thought somebody was getting ready to be killed in there. I had no idea.
It was about to go down?
Oh, yeah. It's talking about, why you bringing this bitch into the scenery? You know it's us guys in here. I'm like, damn. I didn't know we were back in like the 50s or some shit.
Speaking of movies, real quick, we were chatting as we do on the face chat. And I told Walsh, I was like, I just saw Lone Survivor. Right? I was telling both of you. And I was like, it was an unbelievable movie. And you come out and tell me that you don't like it? You didn't like the ending?
I didn't like the ending.
The ending was too far-fetched. It's based on a true story.
I understand. This guy's living quite a life.
I would say usually in movies like that, they would exaggerate it, but I think that they try to play pretty close to the true events of what happened. I mean, obviously it probably gets a little dramatized with the music and what's going on, but
it's got to get Hollywoodized to a degree, but it's based on true events.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I knew that about 15 minutes before I watched the movie. I didn't even know it was based on a true story. But I found out like right before I watched, and I was like, okay, I took that with a grain of salt. But I'm thinking, all right, it's based on a true story. Obviously a couple things are gonna get, skewered here and there. But yeah, I mean, listen, I think there were some scenes in that movie that were just done over the top. Have you guys seen the movie?
Lone Survivor.
There's a couple scenes in there where they're falling down cliffs.
Right, that might be a little
things that only like a boulder would survive.
A boulder.
But the main events of the story are all true.
Yeah, I get it.
Either way,
after our talk,
it was an incredible movie.
I think it would have been a lot better had we done this argument over air. We should have saved it for that.
Well, yeah.
We'll just post a log of the thing on the website.
That's the best war movie I've ever seen. I'm gonna say that.
Better than Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
The critics came out and said best war movie since Saving Private Ryan. But
I think it's better. I thought it was better.
Definitely.
I'm a big Mark Wahlberg fan, though. He gets me every time. And you get
Coles.
And you get Tim Riggins from Friday Night Lights.
Riggins finally getting back in it after a couple bad movies.
And I love the guy.
Bringing him back to life.
Mike Murphy had his FDNY shirt on. Guy from Long Island. Yeah. So I liked everything about it. Very good.
That's
good.
You can't
go wrong. As long as you're patriotic, you would like the movie, Walsh. Obviously, you support.
What are you
Taliban.
trying to say? I'm a Talibani?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
we're gonna get to the little Oscars later.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna get into that. Bachelor had its latest episode this Monday. I gotta tell you, I don't know how we got into this whole thing.
No,
I don't
bad
know.
Move.
It's so bad.
All I'm
It's
saying,
terrible.
My girls are killing it.
Yeah.
Kat went on a date.
My first round draft pick.
Nikki's
Kat had a one-on-one.
It's game over. I don't know why you guys are even still watching.
So if they have sex with Juan Pablo, is that like a fantasy touchdown?
we should have some sort of scoring.
That's six. Jesus.
Plus the 2-point conversion.
Oh.
All right. Well, we are a sports show, so let's get into it. Start with 2-minute drill right now. Earlier in the week, comes down to A-Rod. He's going to have the full season suspension. I love the whole everything that's coming out right now. You have the step-by-step detail of everything that's going on. Tony Bosch goes on 60 Minutes on Sunday night after the Broncos-Chargers game. Basically just having the tell-all. It's amazing, A-Rod's schedule. 6 o'clock, got to put some cream on your ass.
Oh, yeah.
9 o'clock, take this injection. 12, put this gummy under your tongue. 3 o'clock, do some jumping jacks and then shoot yourself up again. I mean,
they said that regiment is the most sophisticated drug regiment that any of the the drug guys, like the guys designing the test to catch the drug cheats. That's the most complex and sophisticated drug program that they've ever seen.
Yeah, the doping agency came out and said that today, I think.
Yeah.
And they said that the most impressive thing about it is that Bosch isn't even like a medical doctor or anything like that.
Yeah.
He just basically, I guess, through time and just getting to know this stuff, just kind of put this schedule together.
Bro, his office was in a strip mall
Oh,
in
yeah.
Florida.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It wasn't like he was in like some big medical facility.
Yeah.
It was like he had an office in like the Hudson Mall next to like like Popeyes or something.
Hey, don't talk shit on Popeyes. It's delicious.
next to the movie theater and the Applebee's.
Oh boy.
Unbelievable.
So it's funny, because A-Rod, he obviously still thinks he's innocent, and with this, I like an A-Rod to the drunk driver behind the wheel when he gets caught by the cops, and they're like, were you drinking? Well, a little bit. I had a couple, and I think
wasn't that bad.
And I think that's what A-Rod's doing. He's like, well, I did it in increments. I did it like this. And I don't know. I just think in his eyes, he's never going to see himself as guilty.
Do you think he believes the lies he's telling? I think he's like a
think he does.
sociopath to that effect. I really legit believes he thinks he's telling the truth.
I really
think
think
I do.
I think
it's crazy.
I feel like he thinks like Sealy's has like this, motive or operandum after him, like this vendetta to get him, and that like
I think
he's this
Sealy
innocent
does. Though. I
bystander.
think he's right
Right.
with that though. That one I think he's right.
Well, I
with.
think what Sealy's trying to do is basically saying, like, even if you're going to try to cut past the rules and you're not going to test positive because, the drugs nowadays are going to be always ahead of the test, like, if we have evidence on you, we're going to go to the full extent of the law that we can. Or, the law or the collective bargaining agreement that we
Major
have
League
in place.
Baseball. I didn't like how they obtained the evidence. I didn't like how they went about that.
yeah.
And that goes to the fact that they were trying to get A-Rod. They were trying to nail his ass to the
They
cross.
were trying to
no
get
doubt about
somebody.
it.
And they got all those other guys, too. It's not like A-Rod's the only guy. He's just getting the most severe punishment of this. I mean, they got other guys for 50
But
games.
that's
They got other guys for, they got Bronx for like 70 games or whatever it was at the end of the year. I forget
Yeah,
what it was.
60. What did he do? 62.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, MLB had to go into
But
cahoots.
we're taking calls yet.
No. We're in the middle of something. We, they were in cahoots, obviously, with Bosch, and I think in any extent of the law.
Because they paid him.
Right, in any
yeah.
in any extent of the law, sometimes cops have to get information from, the drug cartels or whoever it might be.
They're Major League Baseball.
Both
They're not
sides
cops.
both sides of this are absolutely wrong. They
Yeah,
did
I
dirty
mean-
things to get what they needed done.
Yeah, they absolutely did, and I didn't like that. Major League Baseball is not a law enforcement agency. I don't think they should be doing those types of things. But long story short, A-Rod's been doing some kind of enhancements probably since he was 18.
Taking
legitimately.
gummies.
That's like-
it seems like he's been doing it. I'm sure his whole career. And you know what's funny about him? What drives him? He wanted to be the only guy to hit 800 home runs. Like that was his sole motivation.
I forgot
Like
to bring that
he
point
was
up.
he's all about himself. He's all about his legacy. And the further he got into this, it's ironic because he was doing it for his legacy, and the further
Now it's just
he
ruined.
got into this, the more he ruined it.
Yeah.
So where kind of Bonds just kind of went away, right? Clemens to a degree. I mean, he challenged it, but now at least he's gone away. A-Rod, even still now, he wants to go to spring training. He's suing the MLB
Yeah,
Players
I mean,
Union.
that's just,
He doesn't want to let it go, man. Like
I never heard the word injunctify or injunction so much in my whole entire life this past 2 days. I thought one of the most one interesting thing was that Bud Selig sent him a letter in like July saying that he has a chance to go on record and defend himself against these charges.
Right.
And he pleaded the fifth, against not
1,
incriminating
2,
himself.
3, 4, 5th.
And I mean, so that was, never mind the fact that he never stepped up there and tried to plead his case. He also never went on record with the arbitration and pled his case. So, I mean, Major League Baseball was not the person being accused of doing anything illegal here. It was A-Rod.
Right.
The defendant should step up and say, hey, I'm not guilty because of X, Y, and Z. And he never did that. All they tried to do was ugly up the whole testimony, saying that Sealing and Rob Manfred, you got this agenda against A-Rod and that he's innocent of all these charges, but they never presented any evidence to the
Yeah. And, I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, they're going after him and letting the little guys skate under this whole thing. They want A-Rod. They want to
What
make.
do you mean? What little guys?
You got like Gio Gonzalez.
But they all accepted the suspension.
I know, but
they
what
didn't protest. Braun.
Yeah.
Braun's not a little guy. Braun's a big star. He accepted
he
it.
got the 60 games.
They didn't fight. A-Rod was the only one that fought.
Right.
Like A-Rod, what was the initial?
211.
211.
Yeah.
I mean that was a lot. How about A-Rod's?
But what I'm
Do we
saying,
ever-
what I'm
Go
saying is, for a first-time offender, it's 50 games. For A-Rod, his first time, it was supposed to be 211.
But they didn't deem it as one time. They deemed it as separate
Yeah.
entities. So
Still gotta-
whatever.
still
Either
gotta-
way,
I mean,
so
even more impressive fact is that on a weekend of NFL football where you're about to go to NFC Championship games,
Yep.
everybody on Monday morning is talking about A-Rod.
Absolutely.
he did that before. Remember when he announced that he was opting out of his contract during the World Series? Like the dude just loves attention. He
Absolutely.
he loves banging jacked up girls and attention.
Jacked up girl.
Hey now.
Jennifer Nicole Lee.
I
is
don't
like,
think
oh,
we're
man.
we're drifting away from football. We will be getting to that in the second segment. It needs a segment all on its own. But sticking with the baseball theme.
Last on A-Rod, real quick.
Sure.
Do you think he ever plays a Major League game again?
Yeah, in a year.
You think so? You don't think the Yankees are just going to try and buy him out?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's. We got a call here. Let's see who this is. Hey, caller, welcome to the 1480 Sports Show. Who's this? Hello?
A-Rod. I think you guys are missing one of the main points here. Is that A-Rod is a national hero. And he is defending himself against the tyranny of Bud Selig and Major League Baseball. It's absolutely ridiculous. You cannot judge A-Rod by anything that he does, anything over the top. He's going to act ridiculous because the charges are ridiculous. You should have gotten 50 games. They're making an example out of him, and it's all Selig's ego. And I love that goddamn centaur.
Yeah, centaurs for life.
Is this Joe Tacopina? Just by any chance?
Yeah. This is Joe Tacopina.
Do you think the A-Rod suspension was unfair?
Well, I think it's pretty
absolutely.
obvious.
It was the first offense. I don't care. People violated whatever. Everybody got 50 games. You're supposed to get 50 games for your first offense.
Braun got more than 50.
No, that was his second offense. No.
Then why didn't he get 100?
No. His first offense was was dismissed.
Why didn't he get 100?
Where do they arrive at the fact that he should have gotten 211 games? That seems really arbitrary.
Well, the arbiter
about how he has to, or he pleaded the fifth. Like, why at that point should he have played into Major League Baseball's hand? I think
because when you're accused of something, don't you want to defend yourself? He threw up a big hissy fit saying, Bud Selig's not going to testify, neither am I. Well, he's the one getting accused. That's not what innocent people do. When you're innocent, right, you go and you defend yourself. You say, I didn't do this. I'm not guilty. You don't say, Bud Selig's not going to testify, neither am I. I'm going home. I'm going to Mike Francesa's house. I'm going to go play with Francesa.
You know, this is much more complicated than that, given the Players Association and all that, and the accusations were completely out of the ordinary. So, I mean, that's probably how he has to proceed.
Do you think?
And Selig himself isn't taking a stand, and he's
but he doesn't have to.
Over the top, and he wants this for his goddamn legacy before it goes out.
Absolutely.
Do you think A-Rod was juicing?
What?
Do you think A-Rod was juicing? Do you think Bosch is telling the truth, that whole juice program?
Oh, yeah. And honestly,
all right. So what the hell are you talking about?
Who did steroids? They fostered that environment. It's absolutely ridiculous. And now they're going after players. It's absolutely insane. It's stupid, too. And tell me, quantify how steroids help players, please.
I made the same point. I agree with you.
I can't believe everyone's going to yell at baseball and put this on baseball, saying that they turned a blind eye to it for years. But now that they're trying to do something about it, now you're saying they're hypocritical because they're trying to do something about it when they turned a blind eye before.
Yeah, why isn't it hypocritical? I don't get it. Like
because they're trying to change the culture of baseball.
You're going to assume
they're trying to make sure this doesn't happen continuing going forward.
Out of it. Now they're turning against the players, and I think the way they're going after A-Rod is absolutely insane. It's not something that was agreed upon in terms of what first offenders should get, what second offenders should get.
It wasn't a first offense.
Everything, and it's because A-Rod is basically one of the best players ever. Still in baseball. Selig wants to cement his legacy and legitimize everything.
Let me ask you something.
And people are buying into it, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Did you want to see A-Rod in the 800 Club?
Yes. Whatever.
You're ridiculous.
I love A-Rod. I love everything.
Oh, we couldn't tell. Tell us some more.
Do you like the big man-child, Jennifer Nicole Lee, that he dates?
MLB. That's what I like about him, and I like that.
But you like that he put up all these numbers while doing it illegally? He did basically. I mean, from all purposes, it seems like he did all of this illegally. His whole career, he was on.
I don't care about that, but he got caught. He got caught. That was the system in place, whether you think it was too late or not, right? They had the system in place. He got caught doing it. It's clear that he did it, right? He had a sophisticated drug program, and it was against the rules when he did it. Now he got caught. Now he's if you don't like so what are you arguing? The length of the suspension? That's your main problem?
Give him 50 games like everybody else. It's because
not everyone got 50 games.
That's ridiculous, and that's unfair, and it's Selig's agenda.
But apparently the evidence on A-Rod went past what everybody else did.
Right.
That's why it's a more severe suspension.
Wait, because he went above and beyond.
Listen,
like,
do you think stop? This is my show. I will talk. Do you think Horowitz, the arbiter, had an agenda? He has no horse in his dog. He has no dog. He has no dog in his horse. He didn't care, right? He came out. He ruled 162. He said it was 3 separate offenses and 12 extra games for A-Rod being a jerk and trying to obstruct justice. 12 games for obstructing justice isn't that bad.
This because they chose to go after A-Rod and get all this evidence.
Because A-Rod's the only one that...
They wanted him to be the sacrificial lamb. In my eyes, he is a martyr. He is a hero. If Jesus was a centaur, he would be A-Rod.
I love centaurs.
Right. Hey, Mikey, appreciate the call, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye, guys.
Talk to you
Happy
later.
anniversary.
Mikey Brady coming out of Mama's Beach.
Man,
You know who that was?
Yeah.
All right.
we got another call. Not now. I don't know where he went, but
we missed him.
Sorry if you're the 316 Stone Cold Steve Austin area code fan.
316.
I understand his point, but A-Rod put himself out there, and Horowitz had no agenda. Horowitz went with the evidence, and that's what he ruled.
I mean, yeah, if you want to say that baseball is, I mean, they obviously, it's not a typical test. It's not a typical
And it's
way
not
that
a
they
court of
found
law.
out.
It's
Yeah,
an arbitration hearing. It's two different things.
It's in the collective bargaining agreement, that they agreed that this is how the process would go. I mean, yes, it does seem unfair that the accuser or the Bud Selig is the judge, jury, and executioner.
But he wasn't.
I mean, but he kind of is.
But not in the arbitration.
Well, not in the arbitration, but he basically deems the facts, and then he levies a fine. He levied the 211.
Right. Well,
and then it went
that's
to
how
arbitration.
it's set up. I mean, Goodall is the same way in the NFL, right? He has the same powers.
Goodell.
And I mean, and that's
Goodall.
And that's just. I mean, there's no there's no crime fighting branch of the Major League Baseball that can be independent. Because no matter what, they're gonna be hired by the MLB. So at the end of the day, it's no matter what, it's never gonna be on the players' side. But the players and the owners agree to this collective bargaining agreement,
and agreed to binding arbitration,
and that's the rules,
rule,
and that's what you go by. And now he's trying to sidebar the whole rules.
All right, just a quick baseball announcement before we go to the commercial break. Clayton Kershaw today signs a 7-year, $215 million deal to remain with the LA Dodgers. I mean, this is a guy that's going out there, every
fifth day?
Every fifth day. I mean, how many times is he on the field? It's at 30, 35, 36, 37, somewhere around that. It's a guy that appears on the field that often or that low of amount of time. Is he worth $215 million?
Well, first of all, the terms in value of worth, you're only worth what someone's willing to give you. So if someone's willing to give him that, then he's worth that to the Dodgers, right? So let's take the worth.
Well, they're going to give anybody.
If you look, ace pitchers, dominating pitchers, and Kershaw's the best in baseball right now.
Yeah.
They are worth that. In terms of their value in Major League Baseball, having an ace is and he's only 26. He's young. That's what you got to be worried about pitchers like the left-handed deals. A lot of times they're seeing, when they're 20, 30, 31, and they're getting long-term deals and they're breaking down, right? None of these long-term deals, if you go back, the Mike Hampton deals, the Kevin Brown deals, the Denny Nagel. None of those, even Pedro when he signed with the Mets, he gave him a couple good years.
Stop it.
But, Kershaw's 26. As long as his arm holds up, in 7 years, that might be $30 million for a guy of his caliber. Assuming he remains that caliber, that might be a discount. That might be a bargain.
I mean, everyone's all the Yankees fans are looking at this guy Tanaka from Japan to come over. I mean, this guy's going to get $30 million just to walk in the door.
Yeah, and the Dodgers said about him, we will not be outbid for him.
Tanaka?
I mean,
really?
So if you're going to spend $30 million just up front for a guy that you don't even know how he's going to do in the MLB,
yeah.
I mean, putting down $30 million for 1 year for Kershaw is probably not a bad deal.
The influx of money in baseball, they say the viewership in baseball is declining, et cetera, but the influx of money, they've done a great job in the digital age, generating revenue through digital sources. So baseball's flush with cash. The Dodgers obviously are flush with cash with their new management.
And the Dodgers, especially, after such a mess they were in with the McCourt was the old owner, I want to say.
McCourt.
Going through the bad divorce and saying, this franchise is being run to the ground, and then, the new ownership group buys it over with Magic Johnson being, one of the head figures of it, I guess. And then they signed the new TV deal, which was apparently just worth tons and tons of cash. That's why you see him spending on.
They have an absolutely stacked team this year.
Assuming Kershaw stays healthy, and that's a tough assumption, but you got to assume health, right? He's only 26.
Yeah, but I like a deal like that for a 26-year-old.
Absolutely. No, I mean, it guarantees him and his children, his grandchildren, everybody else.
At the end of it, he's 33, 34.
I got to get in the Kershaw family. Shit.
You got any sons, Walsh?
I don't like boys anymore.
Whoa!
You think he got a couple extra mil on the top because of the pop he had in his bat last season?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
15 minutes of fame.